G'day, Jason Conrad Patrick here. We're here at the 2018 Victorian Quarterscale Speedway Club Australian titles for Quarterscale Speedway. We're located at Little Avalon Raceway, which is in the car park at the big Speedway Avalon Raceway in Lara. We've been running for now, I think, 3 seasons tops. The club was originated earlier on at Whittlesea quite a few years back with Brian O'Shannessy and a lot of the older guys of the club. We did share a venue with the Quarter Midget Club, and we've since been allocated some land here to build our own venue. And it's been a hard slog to try and get it done in such a short amount of time. We've put a hand up for the Australian titles, and it's been nothing but hard work for the last couple of months. A lot of people have said, oh, it's been built over 13 weeks, but it's been 13 days from start to finish with the venue. And the club's pretty proud of where we're at now. We've got a lot of interstate travellers here this weekend, a lot of guys from Western Australia. And obviously those guys are up the top of the perch there with Quarterscale Racing in Australia. Also the Queenslanders and a few from New South Wales, South Australia, and one from Tassie. So good representation for the Quarterscale world here in Victoria at the moment. Good little venue. So it's 91 metres on the pole line, the venue. We actually secured some material from Etihad Stadium for the World Speedway GP. A guy got in contact with me and asked me if I wanted some material, and of course I put my hand up for it because it's just A class. We ran yesterday afternoon for probably a good 12 hours solid on it, and we got 97 cars nominated for this weekend, and it held up really well. We just need to fan spray it here and there just to keep the moisture in it. It was a lot hotter. Today we got a lot of cloud cover. So the track's held up really well. We flooded it last night just after we left the venue, and we haven't watered it today. It's still smooth, so a lot of guys are happy that they want it rubber down for the final. Yesterday afternoon we obviously ran a little bit late on time, and we had a guy by the name of Glenn Bethune in Geelong. Within half an hour he had lights organised and everything else, so it's obviously a leap ahead for us to check the venue out with the lights and borrow some lights to see where we need to put them. Obviously next season, now that we've got a few under our belt, we're actually going to install lights. Still a few improvements to do on the venue. The canteen and the bar area is really good. We're really proud of that. It's people a chance to come up and mingle and have a chat after the race meeting, do our presentations and everything like that. And it's great for the guys to be able to stop racing, go and grab something to eat from the canteen and just have a relax. We've since purchased a great sound system too from a company in Geelong that runs all our PA and music and everything else. Dean Rogers and his offside of Tony have actually developed a new timing system for here. We run MyLaps, and the system is a pretty expensive system, but it's very sophisticated with timing with the RC world at the moment. Especially for us, where we've sort of jumped ahead in years. We've now got a timing system that we can actually remotely control from marshalling points around the venue, just by the sake of hitting a button and the red lights will come on, which then sends a signal to the timing booth, which stops the timing. So it saves the timing marshals and a few other marshals scrambling for computer systems and mouse and all that sort of stuff to be able to stop the system. The guys are really taking a grip on that this weekend. It's worked perfectly and solidly all weekend without any failure. So I believe it's a really good thing for the VQS to be able to develop this system, and hopefully other clubs in Australia can follow our lead. We started off small. I've only been in it since the start here. Obviously a lot of the guys in the club have been around for a while now. There's a lot of younger members getting in, and it's just a great family atmosphere to be able to come and race, Quarterscale Speedway, and think you're driving the real thing. Obviously it's pretty good in that sense, where you can go into the big Speedway over night time and then the following day come out here and actually race Quarterscale Speedway and be a part of it. As I said earlier, we've got a fair bit of banking on the track, which was new for us. We originated with a clay-based track that was pretty flat, very wide, so it was around about 12 metres wide. This venue here in turns 1, 2 and 3, 4 is actually 8 metres and then 7 metres on the straights. The banking from up here, it doesn't really show you a good part until you actually walk out onto the track, and you can really notice the banking. It's got a lot of banking on it. A lot of guys here this weekend have really liked the banking on it and the surface, so that's a bonus for us. Obviously, we try and run on different surfaces and try and travel as much as we possibly can. I haven't been in it that long as a lot of other guys, and I've thoroughly enjoyed it ever since, and it's like a great family atmosphere to be able to come and race of a weekend and say good day to the boys that you haven't caught up with for a little while. And we're actually going to do a fair bit more promotional work. We're trying to do a lot more on Facebook and everything now, so obviously Victorian Quarterscale Speedway. You can get on and like them on Facebook, even with our website. You know, we were trying to actually amp it up a bit more to get, you know, a bit more public response and get it out there, because it was a bit of an unknown. We're really proud of doing that, and we pride ourselves on presentation and everything else. And as you can look around the venue, I know it's not finished yet, but the end result's going to be really outstanding. We want to do some new facilities for spectators, obviously, and make it comfortable for people to come down. It's always free to come and watch. And as I said earlier, we've got a canteen and everything else, and a few other things in the pipework to progress the club further. I'm really proud. Dean Rogers, the club president, he's done a massive job behind the scenes. There's other guys like Dave Seckold, he's really done a lot behind the scenes that doesn't get touched on as much. John Wiggins, he's been really helpful too. Gets on the media and just smashes the social media all the time, which you need to do. You need to actually get that out there to make people aware of what we're actually doing here. We've had a lot of reports from guys coming into the big Speedway, and this has just popped up out of nowhere, and they're blown away by how good the venue is. So that's a really great positive response. We're really proud at the moment to host the Australian titles, 97 cars. We've done all the heats at the moment, so all the heats are run and done. Just got the finals to go, so we're actually not going to water the track now. The track's pretty smooth for what it is. I think the guys want a little bit of rubber down for the finals. It might slow the racing down a little bit. It could fasten it up, who knows. But once that rubber goes down, it'll probably get a little bit quicker, and it's probably a little bit harder to drive on the track for some guys. You know, cars are a bit looser, get up in the dusty stuff. There we are. BQS, we're trying to lead the way in what we're doing, and very proud of what we're doing.
G'day guys, my name's Jeff Headington. I'm all the way from Perth, Western Australia. I race the Sedan class here at the Victorian Little Avalon Speedway. It's the first time in this Sedan. It's actually been in the awards this weekend. Never done a lap until this weekend, so first time. Finally getting it dialed in with the tyres, getting used to this new track. It's a 27cc Sanoa motor, KI diff from Sydney, homemade driveline. I built the chassis myself. Got a few cars here this weekend that I've built. Bigger right rear and a little left rear for stagger. Your throttle and the brakes in here, they're little self-propelled like a Victor diff, the old Hondas. Custom-made fuel tank, just modify a few pipes that you can get off the shelf. Torsion bar, front, torsion bar rear. The shocks are off of a hobby shop in Queensland, Aussie Hobbies. They're an FG shock off the 110 scale cars and 150 scale cars. Quite a neat little thing. About 30 odd hours to build. 10 minutes in the first race to smash, but I was in a bit of a hurry with a few others I've got here this weekend. Drove across 3,500 Ks. Been a good weekend so far. I tied on points in third for the Sedan, and sprint cars we're fourth now, I think, for the final. So it's been a good weekend so far.
Hi, how are you going? I'm Darren Lockett from originally Tasmania, and now I'm from WA. I've been over in WA for about 8 years. I got introduced to this sport. I knew it was going to be a bad thing as soon as I walked in and took one look at these things. These things are absolutely incredible. I ended up buying this one from Queensland from a man called Jason Necker that I believe builds a really good race car. So I've had to do quite a few things to make it a bit more probably reliable. I don't know if our tracks are much different over there, but I've run two types of motors. I've got a 26 and a 23. We call the 26 a 410 and the 23 is my 360. It's a chrome molly chassis, run a Mikey Rimmer quick change diff in the back. Basically it's exactly the same as a sprint car, all torsion bar suspension, apart from the remote control bits in the middle, I guess, but apart from that, that's why it looks so much like a sprint car, is because it literally is. That's about it. We've got a big following over in WA, as you can tell by the numbers here for these national titles. We've got some really good cars and some really good drivers over here. I found it pretty hard being an old guy. I've only been doing it for about 3 years, and it was definitely a quick learning curve, steep hill to climb to try and play with remote control cars again. But no, lots of help and a bit of frustrating, few cups frustrating races, but it's all good fun. These guys that have ran this show, they really need a huge pat on the back to get the track up and going the way they have and to build it from scratch, and the way they've just bent over backwards making everybody happy and make sure everyone's comfortable, and like last minute thing last night to have to run under lights and ran around and got the lights and all sorted out. Unbelievable. Everyone's just done a terrific job. We've all appreciated it from here and the show's been absolutely great. Hats off to the Vic Quarterscale. Let's hope they can keep the track as good as they can for us WA guys and we can take home a couple of plates.
Yeah, my name's Malcolm Scott. We're down at Avalon Raceway for the Australian titles on 1/5 scale cars. So this is mine, this is a dirt mod based on the Baja buggy type chassis. So we run the 26cc standard motor, so it's fairly competitive for everybody else. We can change all the shock settings and all the other bits and pieces for different grip. We can change tyres, foams, different rubbers and that for all that sort of stuff. So I'm actually part of the Victorian Quarterscale Club. I've only been a member now for probably 6 months. Been around buggies and that for a while. Great to get into. This is the second day of the titles. Yesterday was a lot of heats. I've done pretty well. 2 firsts, a second, had a DNF, had a bit of a bingle and totaled one of the back wheels. Went out again today in the round 5 and came in second, so hopefully straight into the A main. Yeah, so as I said, it's a dirt mod body, this one. So you can get all different bodies, you can get the standard bodies, you can just get them plain or you can get them wrapped and done by one of our local members. This one was a brand new body at the start of yesterday. So yeah, they just come straight off like that. And then, as I said, we've got the standard Baja chassis. So we run a 26cc. You can change your air filters, you can have different pipes. And then of course you've got all your different shockers, different spring tensions, and you can put covers on them so you can adjust all your springs through here, which gives you different ride heights and all that sort of thing for grip. And as I said, tyres are a big part. We've got a lot of safety on them, where safety is paramount for us. We run kill switches in them, so there's no way the car can get away and just take off. They can be shut down for safety, obviously. Yeah, so there's a lot to them, a lot to set them up. The club itself, as I said, VQS, great bunch of guys, and even everyone in the whole 5th scale are really good. They'll all pitch in and help you set them up and all that sort of thing. So we get out and have some fun, race hard, pretty serious, but at the end of the day, it's all about fun. And with our new track, it's just been not quite finished off, but it's just about there. We're going to hopefully get a few more young people along to the sport and get a few more involved. Well, I've been around remote control cars for a while and in nitros and things like that. So I started, and then I got into the 1/5 scale, just paddock bashing. Saw this, a couple of our guys knew Dean down at Rims RC, which is actually I'm sponsored by Rims RC in the Hat by Motorsport. And yeah, just took it from there. So started on another track and we decided to build our own track. So it's been really good. It's a great fun sport. This is our second day down here at the titles, so I think I should be in the A main. So I'd just like to thank all the guys here from VQS as well as all the guys from Western Australia, Queensland, they're all down here. And of course my sponsor, Rims RC Motorsport, for all the things they do for me, and hopefully I can do well in the A main.
I'm Brian from, actually originally from Whittlesea in Victoria. Now I reside in Tasmania, retired. I've been running for 20 odd years, over 20 years, and I started racing in the States in the little sprint cars. And I started out of 160. I was in position 160, got up to 4th. And that was at the Knoxville Nationals about 1994, I think, something like that, yeah. I love it, but now because I'm old, I can't see, I can't walk properly, it's not that easy. Yeah, Robert helps me out all the time, does all me, basically most of my work, you know. He just gets it over there, I've only got to get on the stand, which takes about half hour, and then off I go. Listen, this is actually growing faster than it's sort of capable of handling it, because like years ago we had say 20 sprint cars at the Nationals up at home, but we never had the pan cars and Bahas and this and that. We only had 2 or 3 different types. Now there's that many that it's a full-on deal. It's a full-on deal. And now with the computers it makes it a little bit easier, but it's still frustrating because there's not everybody's happy. You know, like at the end of the day, I can't believe that there's anyone that's not happy running around. Like, what do you want better than that? You know, that's how I see it. Yeah, I've run about 6. I won 1 and I went to Lara for the second back-to-back, and on the last lap I broke the drive line and I was about a lap and a bit in front. I couldn't believe why my car was still going. There was nothing happening. But no, I've had a lot of fun. I've been to Sydney, I've been over to South Australia, you know, I love it. What I like about this mob is that they're friendly. Everyone wants to talk to you, have a chat. Like, they don't know you from the borough, so, but all the Sydney siders, I get on well with them. The guy from Queensland was just chatting to me then. You know, the West Australian blokes, I know Les from way back. And no, it's been a good little journey, I love it. I'm not bragging, but we would have been the first ones with a track. And Matty used to sit on a grader and he used to fall asleep. That's how long he used to. He's up there at 6 in the morning, went flat out all day, and I could see him doing this. I thought, geez, you go over the edge of the hill, we'd be down near the bottom of the creek. But no, he was great. He always helped out. Good guy. I do because I can't walk that far anymore, and I can't see that good. Like, I don't want to put people out. I was only saying before, I was in one of the heats, and I took off and I thought, oh, the car's bolted. But then I'm looking where I used to see it, and it's at the corner. I thought, geez, the little head's not going as fast as it used to. But you know, I still love it. I don't like these sort of races because they're really quick and they're for the top guys. You know, you get the village idiot like myself. I love just normal days because everyone's a lot slower and it's a lot easier. But these are really full on, they're flat out, you know. And it looks good, I'm no two ways about it. I'd like to thank the 2 guys that helped me a lot, which is Robert from Melbourne and Brian from South Australia. And if it wasn't for them, I probably wouldn't be doing it either. Because I just can't, these days I can't, like I've had trailers and everything, but these days I just can't do it. No, I've had a really great weekend. No two ways about it. The level of how it's run here is really good. It's probably one of the better ones that I've run at, as in how it's all put together and how it goes up on a board, and you don't have to, you don't have to chase people. You go to the board, read it, that's where you are. Not, if he's not running, I won't be in, and all this sort of stuff. No, I think this is a great little venue, this. I really do. You've done a top job, I don't care what anyone says. And I don't care if anyone whinges to you, you just got to brush it off because you know how much effort you've put in. I've always been against the track kickers. They come in, they've never been here before, kick the track and say, you can do better than that. This is a dog track to run on. And yet and yet they're never there on the days where you need support. But no, it's been a great journey. I think this will possibly be my last one, because if I can stand up, I might be on South Australia, but if I can't, I won't. No worries, that's good.
So it's been a great day's racing here at Little Avalon Raceway in Lara, Victoria for the 2018 quarter-scale titles. Great racing was put on in the finals. You can't do this event obviously without the sponsors. So I really want to thank TJ Chassis, Matty Turner and the family. He's jumped on board and really supported us well over the last couple of weeks and been naming rights sponsor. Sprockets Australia, Ingrid, she jumped on board only about a month or two ago and jumped on board. It was a bit of a shock that someone that doesn't have anything to do with the club has come on board, so that was really great. We really appreciate that. Also Lee Lupton from Lupton Builders here in Geelong. He's supported local Speedway around Victoria for a long time now, and to have him on board is really great. I also want to thank Dave Secol from Hughes Demolition. He's been a fantastic sponsor ever since we got started here at Little Avalon Raceway, and supporting us with a new venue with a lot of donations and building structures. So also to Quest Environments in Geelong for donating the container. They're always helping out here at Little Avalon Raceway and protecting our assets with a container. We've got Rems RC, of course, Dean Rogers, big supporter. He's our club president as well, and just cannot thank his hard work behind the scenes enough. EMS, thanks to EMS, they've been on board for a couple of seasons now, so we can't do it without you guys, and really appreciate your support. As I said, Laird Campbell Automotive, Laird and his family are big inputters into the club too, so that's great to see these guys. His wife Marie runs the canteen, and young Corey races, and had a really good weekend. Also too, want to thank Rapid Designs and Signs for the great sign work around the venue. If you want to get in touch with us, we're actually on Facebook, Victorian Quarterscale Speedway, and also on our website, vqs.org.au. So if you want to get in touch with us and find out some more information, or you can contact Rems RC and Hoppers Crossing.